Protect your time from energy vampires. People often talk about protecting your energy and protecting your peace, but I think it's just as crucial to have a conversation about protecting your time, because time is the one thing you will never get back. You can recover your energy and you can rebuild your confidence. You can even heal your nervous system. But the years you spent trying to save someone who was committed to staying broken, gone. And that's what energy vampires are really stealing from you. Not just your mood, your life. Energy vampires don't just drain your energy, they drain your timeline. They keep you on the phone for 3 hours talking about the same problems they had last year. They pull you into crisis after crisis. They make you feel like if you don't show up, something terrible will happen. And slowly, you start measuring your life and how available you are to them. That's not friendship. That's emotional employment. And the worst part is you're not even getting paid to do it. At first, it doesn't feel malicious. It feels like loyalty. It feels like being a good friend. You know, the strong one. But then you look up and realize you haven't worked on your goals, rested properly, or poured into yourself in ages. Because you've been pouring into someone who has a hole at the bottom of their cup. And no matter how much you give, it never fills. So, what does it actually look like when an energy vampire is stealing your time? First off, every conversation revolves around them. Even when you try to talk about your life, it somehow circles back to their drama. Next, their emergencies are constant. It's never, I handled it. It's always, I need you. Third, you feel obligated, not excited, to answer their calls. Be honest, when their name pops up on your phone, does your chest feel tight? If it does, that's your body telling you something your mouth won't. If you feel drained before the conversation even starts, that's anticipation of emotional labor. Energy vampires train you to be their emotional regulator. They don't self-soothe, they outsource it to you. And because you're empathetic, you stay. You think, they just need support. But you have to remember that support is temporary and dependence is permanent. And some people don't want solutions, they want an audience. One of the biggest red flags of an energy vampire is that they don't change. Years go by, same problems, same chaos, same, I don't know why this keeps happening to me. But somehow, you're the one who's exhausted. Meanwhile, they're kind of evolving. They're gaining insight from the conversations you guide them through. They're becoming more self-aware because you're doing the emotional processing for them. You are their unpaid therapist, their crisis hotline, and their life coach. And while they're improving, you're stagnant. The time you spend saving someone else is time you're not investing in yourself. There are women who could have built businesses, healed their bodies, written books, or even left toxic relationships sooner. But instead, they were busy being the strong friend. And nobody claps for the strong friend. They just expect her to stay strong forever. Now, let's talk about the quiet consequence of not protecting your time. Resentment. You start snapping, you start pulling away, and you start feeling guilty for needing space. But the guilt isn't because you're doing something wrong. It's because you've trained yourself to believe your value comes from being useful. And when you're not useful, you feel selfish. That's conditioning, not love. Some women are exhausted not because they're busy, but because they're constantly available. Availability is a resource, and you've been handing it out like it's unlimited, but it's not. Every hour you spend listening to someone repeat the same self-inflicted problem is an hour you could have used to move your own life forward. Honestly, some people improve at your expense. They process their trauma with you. They build confidence through reassurance. They make bold moves because you emotionally stabilize them. And when they finally level up, they don't need you anymore. And you're left drained. I know it hurts, but it's true. So, how exactly do you protect your time? First, limit your access. You don't need to be on the phone for 3 hours with your friend simply because she doesn't like her own company. You don't need daily check-ins. You can say, I have 20 minutes. You can let the call go to voicemail. You can even respond tomorrow. Remember, urgency is often manufactured. Next, stop over-functioning. If they come to you with a problem, resist the urge to fix it. Instead of solutions, try saying, what do you think you're going to do? Watch how uncomfortable that makes someone who is used to you doing the thinking for them. You are not their strategist. If they never have to sit alone with their chaos, they will never grow. And growth is uncomfortable, which is why they'd rather sit on the phone with you all day. Third, limit crisis access. You are not required to be on call for anyone who is not your child. Let that sink in. You can love someone and still refuse to be their emergency contact for every emotional inconvenience. And sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for yourself is give yourself distance. Create gradual detachment through less availability, less access, and less emotional labor. You don't have to announce it, just redirect your time back to yourself. Some friendships only work when you are overgiving. The moment you pull back, they feel it. They may call you distant, selfish, or say you've changed. And guess what? You have. You actually value your time now. Protecting your time will cost you people who benefited from you not having boundaries. And that's okay, because time is life. Every hour you reclaim is an hour you can pour into your health, your creativity, your peace, your future family, and your dreams. You deserve friendships that energize you, conversations that inspire you, and support that goes both ways, not relationships where you slowly disappear while helping someone else become whole. If you've been the strong friend for years, it's okay to retire from that role. You're allowed to be unavailable. There's nothing wrong with choosing yourself. And anyone who truly loves you will respect that. And anyone who doesn't was benefiting from your burnout. Protect your energy, but more importantly, protect your time. Because one day you'll look back and realize the real victory wasn't about being endlessly available. It was about being intentional with your life. Alright ladies, that is all for today's video. If you'd like to keep up with more of my content, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Reina Safo. One last thing, always remember to protect the woman you're becoming. I'll see you in the next one.